All right, good morning, everyone. Can everybody hear me all right? All right, good. Uh, can't turn them off. Can't turn them off. I try. Oh boy, he's on a roll. He's on a roll. Oh boy. Uh, All right, here we go. Our pivot this morning is 3460. 3460. Our resistance above at 64, 70, 75, and 93. Support below at 53, 43, 37, 30, and 21. Pivot 60, support at 53, 43, 37, 30, and 21. Resistance on the upside at 64, 70, 75, 84, 93. It's Friday. The market again is pins and needles, as they say, in regards to trying to come up with some kind of solution to the stimulus package that these people are teasing everybody with. So we shall see if and when whatever happens. For those of you who are in the chat area there, you can see that the levels are printed up for you. Thanks there, Sardar. So you can get them written. All right. We are trading mini S&Ps, and we're trying to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market. That's what we're trying to do here. We're scalping the market for, well, I don't know, probably about 2-3 points today. It looks very quiet there overnight. Not much really going on. The debate was pretty much non-issue for the most part. Our pivot 3460 as we slowly drift down here to the 53 area. Support of 53, 43, 37, 30, and 21. Resistance on the upside at 64, 70, 75, 84, and 93. All right. So this is today's Friday, so we have to, at the end of the week, and only about, I don't know, 10 days or so till the election, and that's going to be overriding factor that's going to be encasing everybody's interest over the next 10 days. With the news factor that's probably going to be out this next 10 days, there's going to be, I'm sure, something that's going to be affecting the market with something. So we can see how the volatility was kind of a little goofy yesterday. They were in and out of these meetings, and every time they came in and out of a meeting, there was some kind of either positive effect, negative effect. Overall, they rallied it in the end, but it was very whippy. We had a couple of our levels that worked out pretty well for you. Hopefully, you were trading with us yesterday, you took advantage of those. Again, in the afternoon, you're just pretty much trading the levels. Price action activity gets a little bit whippy because of the news factor that might be affecting the market and how they handle it, and also the fact that there are less individuals trading than there were in the morning than there is in the morning. And so you have to just be a little bit more mindful of that trading in the afternoon if you're going to be trading in the afternoon. We focus more on the morning hours here simply because we feel that we get good ebbs and flows, good opportunities versus the late afternoon. I think there's trades better technically in the morning than it does in the afternoon. So we like that and helps us stay focused more. There are no economic reports today, this morning. So just a lot of earnings reports that are coming out, and there's some good and some bad in there. Let's see, Intel missed. They're down like almost 10%. AT&T is up 6%. American Airlines is up 3%, seeing improvements in passenger demand. Southwest Airlines is up. So United Pacific is down. So they're getting a little bit of everything as far as the earnings season is concerned. So nothing to get too excited about there, but at least the market is at this moment in time, I think, just trading on the backbones of the stimulus situation more than anything else, as we drift quickly down here to the 53. Yeah, it's not a big deal. That flash manufacturing number is not something that I would get too nervous or excited about as we quickly bounce off here our 53 area. All right, so if you did get in there at 53, hopefully you did. You got top end, middle, and a nice little quick rotation there off of the 53 area. It's good to have this one Friday and early on, a good first trade in the morning. I mean, yesterday we waited a good 45 minutes before we made a trade. This morning, first 5 minutes, 6 minutes, okay, second. First 6 minutes of the day we made some money. You know what, it doesn't matter if we made money or not, it's just a matter of a good opportunity, that's all. Right, I mean, that's what you have to look at. So we obviously have support there, 53. We gave those levels out. If you're looking in the chat, you can see the chat window there, and the levels are printed. If you have any questions, some new folks that are here, please feel free to ask them in the chat area. The 53 level is the first level of support there, as you can see, and we bounced off of it. Again, we're looking for about 2 to 3 points on our trades, and I think that's what we got here. And we scaled into our position, so we got filled on the scale. So it was a nice way to start the morning on a Friday. So good thing. And the next level on the downside now we have is the 43 area. So again, our market is a little sensitive to anything that might come out of Washington or not. So we'll see what happens. All right. So nice quick pop down, nice quick pop up. And like I said, it's Friday. It's good, always a good way to start Friday. Uber and Lyft must classify their drivers in California as employees according to the state appeals court ruling that threatens to upend their business model. The order makes the two even more dependent on Proposition 22, a ballot initiative set for November 3rd that would supersede any court rulings. It has so far raised more than 189 million from companies along with DoorDash, Postmate, Instacart, making it the most expensive proposition in California history should it pass. The company said it will guarantee new protection to workers, and should it fail, they would likely explore other appeal options like sending the case to the California Supreme Court. Again, their model there is that all these guys are independent contractors. That way, they don't have to pay them payroll tax, or it's a big deal for them to not have them be considered as employees. So that's what they got going over there. And it's been quite a choppy trading week on Wall Street, really. And the trend didn't stop overnight with the U.S. stock indices futures inching into the green after spending the first half of the session in the red. White House Nancy Pelosi, White House Speaker, I should not say White House Speaker because that's not true. Nancy Pelosi said in progress on the stimulus deal was just about there. White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow cautioned significant policy differences remain, which were unlikely to be resolved before the election. On the economy, the latest weekly initial claim record dropped 55,000 to fall below 800,000 for the first time since March, while about a fifth of the S&P 500 companies have so far reported third quarter results, of which 84% beat earnings estimates. Remember, earnings estimates are kind of watered down a little, so but that's better than not meeting them. 84% beat estimated earnings estimates. Beat earnings estimates. Okay, so that's good. That's decent. Usually about the right number. It's more probably. Yeah, no, I think that's about the right number. Next support level on the downside is the 43. We have a couple opportunities there if you're a little bit more aggressive in regards to the blue band there and the hourly or not. That's up to you. Blue banders did well yesterday. Blue banders always do well. In a relatively civil debate following a turbulent first face-off, President Trump and former Vice President Biden traded some barbs last night over the economy. Trump said Biden would destroy the oil industry after the latter talked up plans about a transition to renewable energy over time, as well as ending federal subsidies to the sector. Regarding coronavirus shutdown, Trump declared we can't keep this country closed. The cure cannot be worse than the problem itself, while Biden replied, I'm going to shut down the virus, not the country. Though he did not rule out additional shutdowns, the two also deferred out a minimum wage, with Trump stating that it would be left up to the states, and Biden saying it deserves to be $15 an hour on the federal level from the current $7.25. That's perfect. $7.25. That's when I was going to school. It was $7.25. So you can see progress there has been great. It's kind of funny. Anyway, yeah. So they did sound a little bit more civil yesterday. So I think that's why the market kind of pushed up here, and it kind of got in a little bit of a range after no surprises came out of that. They put them in the cage there, and they acted civil instead of like animals. So that's pretty good. And now we just kind of see what happens with any news drop that's going to be coming out here in the next 10 days. We'll see what happens as the market is a little bit heavy, but nothing great. Support, next support level we have is 43. Shares of Gilead Sciences are nearly up 6% pre-market trade after its antiviral therapy remdesivir became the first drug to obtain a formal FDA clearance for treating COVID-19 that could help solidify its position as the go-to medicine for patients even when other drugs begin to reach the market. In May, the FDA granted remdesivir, sold under the brand name Veclur, emergency use authorization, allowing hospitals and doctors to use the medication even though it had not been formally approved by the agency. All right. So yeah, as far as the shutdowns are concerned, we are in Chicago, the mayor, concerned about the concerned about the COVID thing as the numbers here have gone up really quickly. She's shutting down businesses at 10 o'clock. Like these bars have been, I guess, a lot of younger folk has been visiting the bars a lot, and they're a little worried about that. So they trying to contain things a little bit. Our pivot this morning is 34.60, support at 53.43. There they are. Thank you. There they are in the chat. Let's get in there, Don. You've been making some good calls lately. You should be a lot happier these days. By the way, Don, I just want you to know I got Hurricane Don outside my window these days, the last couple of days. It's been lingering here, just a lot of rain. Well, I mean, listen, you know, you got it is what it is. We're living in a weird situation. You can't fight the fact that that this stuff is out there. It's drained the purse strings of not only Illinois or Chicago. It's drained the purse strings of everybody. And you know, I mean, are you surprised? I mean, they're going to be raising taxes everywhere. It's not going to be only here in Chicago. As far as the closing of the businesses, I mean, the numbers have been really crazy. You got to do something. You know, I mean, we've been pretty good here, I think, in Chicago with this stuff, and it's been for the most part controlled. But the numbers have been like doubling, crazy numbers lately. So, look, they just don't want the hospitals to get overrun. And you might not agree with it, but it's just there's no right way of doing this. You know, there's no right way of doing it. You shut down things, people get pissed off. You don't shut down things, the numbers get worse. The budgets are going out of whack because there's no taxes coming in from businesses. I mean, it's not only Illinois or Chicago, it's going to be everybody. There's just no way of you don't know what's right or what's wrong, how to deal with this stuff. That's all. Oh, I know. You're in Wilmette. I live in Highland Park, so I hear the same lightning above me. It woke me up this morning. Thunder and lightning, it's crazy. Don, crazy over here. There's too much rain. It just keeps over the last 2 days. It's amazing. We had a very dry. What is that? Let's see, September probably. It was very dry, and then all of a sudden, it's been I know, Mark. Yeah, I know. You need some rain. I get it. California. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't know what rain is. I get it. I get it. It's the all that sunshine out there, and the Sunshine State is no, that's the wrong state. Yeah, all that sunshine out there, you kind of forget what clouds are. I understand. I get it. Who knows? I don't know where the server is, honestly. I'm surprised he's telling me it's Aurora. All right, so kind of hanging here. I get it there, Don. We're getting it too. I mean, it's been. But here's Chicago weather for you. Okay, 50s Wednesday, 40s. It's been chilly. Yesterday afternoon, it's in the 70s. I don't know where it came from, but it was balmy outside. Okay, I mean you're wearing a jacket because it was 50s, and then all of a sudden it gets to the 70s. It was nice, and so pretty much this temperature all evening. It's 66 right now, actually, and in an hour it's going to be 40. Okay, it's going to be like this in the 40s, between 40 and 45 for the next 5 days, as we had a 70-degree day yesterday. That's still in Chicago. All right, we continue to slowly downtick here. Coming down here to the settlement price. Blue band in the hourly is at 48. In case you are wondering. Next level we have support is a 43. And welcome to some of the new folks that are in. We are trading mini S&Ps here. We're trying to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market. We don't believe markets go straight up or straight down. Consequently, we're trying to scalp the market and to try to find those inflection points where the market will rotate and give us an opportunity to make about 2 to 3 points on our trades. And sometimes, obviously, if you get in at the right spot and you trade multiple contracts, you can try and hold on to something and maybe take a little bit more out of the trade than 2 or 3 points. The 53 level that we gave out earlier this morning, it worked very nicely here. And if you need any questions, or if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Sardar, can you print them out, put them in there one more time for me? So, okay, nice bounce here off of the settlement price, if some of you are watching. So again, here's the levels that we gave out this morning. If new people are in here, if you look at the chat box area, you'll see them printed out. Those are a pivot followed by support and resistance, or resistance and support. Again, if you are trading, we said we got the blue band there, 48. And we got to the off the settlement price there. And the next level we have down below is 43. No, no snow. It's just rain. A lot of rain. And it's staying in the 40s, so we're not going to get any snow. Or at least for the time being. But this Chicago, anything could happen. Adding to fines and settlements in Hong Kong and Malaysia Goldman Sachs will pay a record 2.9 billion, sorry, with a B, foreign bribery penalties in the United States and plead guilty for its involvement in the scandal plagued the 1MDB investment fund. Actually caught them doing something wrong. That brings the global cost to the bank of more than $5 billion. These hefty fees are also leading Goldman to claw back some of the executive compensation from the current and former executives. That's too bad. I feel terrible for them. I think it did touch 55, didn't it, earlier? Oh, sorry. Sorry. All right. Well, that's about it for news today. So not too much else is going on there. Again, we had a nice little rotation down to our first level of support. Our blue banders maybe took advantage of, definitely went down to the settlement price and bounced up. A couple little price action opportunities. We look at the levels that we give out, plus in addition to the price action opportunities that the market might give us. Those price action opportunities are the things that we kind of teach and try to show you where they are, how to look for them, and then how you can trade them once you are in them. So recognition of the trade is one aspect, and then execution is the second. All right, Don, you should be happy now. Low resistance around the 59 to 60 area. Now, Zoom is the room that you're in, not will it zoom to 62 and I'll be happy. That's not how it works. I think you got the two things mixed up there. You can't put Zoom in trading and Zoom in the trading room in the same sentence. All right. Again, we are, you have to be patient. We had a quick, nice, quick rotation there off of our first level, first 5 minutes of the day. And now we have to wait for the next opportunity to occur. We did have a little price action play there against our settlement price. If some of you are trading that, I was kind of mentioning it earlier, and now we're just kind of trading sideways here a little bit on these lower lows. So that's where we're at. Again, we have to be patient and wait for the opportunities because we can't go and, sometimes the urge is to go in there and try to, want to start trading, but because you see the numbers are flickering on the screen, but that's not what we're trying to do here. again, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask them. Put them in the chat box area. It'd be easier for me to see it a little bit quicker than the Q&A section, only because I have that window up. So sometimes it's good to ask questions when things slow down a little bit. It is Friday, so things tend to be quieter, unless of course some news comes out, which we've been very sensitive to lately, especially if news in regards to the relief stimulus situation that's coming out of Washington. Doesn't look like they're going to get this done before the election. I don't think the Senate Democrats have any intention of getting this done for whatever reason, which just really surprised me. I think this would be a positive for them, but I don't know. They just don't seem to want to budge on this one. What causes the bond market to go up and down? Well, I mean, the easiest answer is supply and demand, right? That's the easiest answer. There's a lot of hedging opportunities there in the bond market. Well, there used to be anyway. And the bond market was there to hedge against interest rate fluctuation. But because recently there hasn't been too much fluctuation in interest rates, it's kind of a quiet market. The Fed is a major player in the market right now, and that's why it doesn't trade as well technically as it used to. But basically, it is a interest rate sensitive market, and if interest rates, there's an inverse relationship between price and the rates. So if prices go up, interest rates go down, and vice versa. So that's one gauge there. We can see if interest rates are going to go up or not. And usually interest rates go up because there's inflation or some kind of inflationary issue, but that's not happening. And again, that's all been under control for the most part over the last few years. And so that's why it's been kind of a very quiet market. It's very susceptible to what the Fed says and does or doesn't do, and how their policy guidelines, implementation of what their policy is going to affect bond market prices and obviously affect interest rates at some point. So because right now the interest rates are almost zero, the yield here on the 10s are around 0.79 or 0.880. So it's very, very quiet there, and they really can't go much higher. I mean, unless they go to negative, which I think most of the Fed governors said that they don't like negative interest rates here in the United States. But there are you do get some moments, instances, situations where you're going to see the inverse relationship between the bond market and S&Ps, or equities, I should say. And I think yesterday that was played out a little bit when we were rallying there. I think bonds kind of broke down a little as S&Ps were rallying, and then late in the day, I think they did the inverse. They rallied, and kind of bonds rallied, I should say, and the equities kind of broke. So Sometimes you get a good hint as to what equities do. Sometimes you don't. So we take it with a grain of salt. It used to be a much better measure of movement. But also, what happens is once the bond market closes at 2 o'clock Chicago time, it takes some of the air out of the S&Ps, and that's why we definitely don't like to trade that last hour for sure. Serdar, if you can print them for me one more time, I'd appreciate it. As the market continues to downtick here, next support level we have is the 43 area. For those of you who have just come into our service, if you look at the chat box area, we have the levels that are printed out that we gave out early this morning when the market opened up. These are the levels of support and resistance that we look for. We're trying to scalp the market. Basically, we're trying to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market. We're looking for about a 2-point stop these days to help us with those opportunities with the 2 or 3 point profit target, 2 or 3 point stop as well. So that's what we're trying to do here. And we do this on an everyday basis. We're here trading equities, mini S&Ps, and we used to be on the Florida Exchange, but due to the fact that COVID came around, has taken those opportunities away from us. I remember when we first, they first suggested that we're going to close down. They said we're going to close down for 2 weeks. Remember the beginning of March, we're 2 weeks, everything's done for 2 weeks and everything's better. Not happening. And not happening. 2 weeks came, went, and then we were mired in 2020. 2020 has become one hell of a year. That's for sure. That is for sure. So, but that's what we do here on an everyday basis. So hopefully we put together this methodology that encompasses the price action, these levels that we gave out, plus price action opportunities that occur. We have an education course that teaches you how to find these levels in addition to the price action opportunities that are out there. And our goal here is to kind of teach you this stuff. That's what we try to do. But we're here on an everyday basis in this trading room to share some ideas and thoughts with you every day when the market's open, and we can kind of try to put some sense into the numbers flickering on the screen for you. At least I do the best that I can. Sometimes it works better than other times because sometimes things make sense and sometimes it doesn't. But I have accepted those times when I can't make sense of the market. Because I trade, sometimes I get these questions from people. Why is this happening? Why is the market going up or why is the market going down? I always get a phone call from my friends like they think I'm like some kind of like market guru or something that I have all the answers, but I don't. So we are traders. We get in front of our screen and we put together this methodology and this program that gives us an opportunity to try to make money in the markets every day. Yes, the crystal ball, the infamous crystal ball that's elusive, and I can't find it. I've been trying to find that crystal ball. I bought a few of them, and every time I look at it, nothing comes out of it. I don't know why. Just stares right back at me as I stare at it for it to give me some answers. Amazing. Just amazing. But because of that, but at least we had our first level of support there at the 53 area and gave us a nice bounce off of that level. We don't believe the markets go straight up or straight down. Consequently, we're looking for those areas of inflection that the market will give us an opportunity to scalp the market. That's what we're trying to do here. on an everyday basis. But again, we try to teach you this stuff so that you can do it on your own. We try to allow you to recognize these levels, to recognize the opportunities, and then the second part of the program here is for you how do you execute them and how do you trade around, whether it's a level or a price action opportunity or what have you. We don't always just trade the price action. Yesterday we had a couple momentum trades that occurred, and we tried to, again, we have to wait for those opportunities for the market to kind of set it up for us, right? We don't know when the market's going to set up a momentum trade or not, because obviously we need the technicals to kind of line up in a certain way. And that's what the price action opportunities come into play. So again, if anybody has any questions, I tried to give you a little bit of an overview here as to how we do things and what we do. Write them in the chat box area. If you put it just to all panelists, only Brad and I see it. He's the guy that doesn't stop talking. But he says he can't hear me sometimes. He can hear me sometimes, but not hear me all the time. So I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. But anyway, yeah. So we can. We're the only two that can see it if you just put them in the chat box area. Oh no, trust me. I talk a little bit too much. I mean, I hate talking so much too. But sometimes people are coming in and out of the room, so I just want to make sure, at least for the morning. You know, I know they come in and out of the room in the afternoon. Sometimes they're not here, and they put, is anybody here? I don't know. All of a sudden, when you want Brad to be there, he's not there either. So, but I don't blame him. All right, we've a little rangy bound here, a little weak, right? Kind of hanging around. Support level, next support level we have is 43. Patience is very important in this game. Waiting for the opportunities instead of going out there and trying to create them. Found out that those don't work out too well for us. Our education course is taught in this venue, in this room, and we try to use live charts to help us with the education part. And consequently, we're going to be holding a class here later on this afternoon in this venue, and right around about 11 o'clock Chicago time for today. So we might, unfortunately, at that time, have to make sure that only the people that are in the course are in the room. But again, we'll give you plenty of warning and time to get in and out. And if you do get, hopefully, if you're in here and or if you're not, and if you don't hear my voice and I kick you out, it's not because I want to, just because I'm just trying to get the class organized and focused and moving forward. So you can always come back, obviously, the next day or tomorrow, and well, in an hour. Usually our classes last about an hour. So that way, yeah, sure. 11:15, 11:30, somewhere in that range today. Don't rush. No rush there, Maureen. Just let me know. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing today later on. So if in case you're in here and you're not listening and I, kick you out of the room, it's only because we're doing an education course in here. But like I said, you're more than welcome to come back an hour later, or in this case, well, since there's no trade tomorrow, we'll be here on Monday. but that happens later. So no, don't worry. Not now. And if anybody has any questions, again, please feel free to put them in the chat box area. One time later on this afternoon, about 11:15, 11:30 Chicago time. So not now. As education course for members, well, there's the monthly membership, and then there's the education course. So two different types of situations there, not just it's just not so there's two things here, not just one. If education would be a members only thing, because everybody comes in here as a member technically, right? But the education is separate. We like to use the room here to use the live charts so that we can show you what we're talking about in real time. Do I ever study as to why some levels worked and why some levels did not? Does it give you any insight? Well, I think it goes back to the crystal ball kind of situation here. I don't give you levels that I don't think are going to work. So if there's a level that doesn't work, it could be a time factor. When that comes out, when some news comes out, or maybe a little bit too close to the opening, which is something that is a consideration. We talk about that in our education course sometimes when not to trade. So yeah, there are situations that affect a level that maybe you wouldn't use it. Whether why it works or why it doesn't work, I would say that is more up in the air. It could mean that there's some news that came out at any particular moment in time. So there's other factors that go into why a level would work or doesn't work that are sometimes out of our hands. But the ones that we can control, we talk about it in our education course and give you basically a heads up on it so that in case it happens or in case it presents itself, that you know how to either adjust your risk and adjust the number of contracts that you trade or cancel the trade altogether, because sometimes that's and that's an option. Canceling your trades is an option because it's a little bit more risky. But I try to point out the at risk sometimes than the ones that we can control. The you know, any news that comes out, we can't control, or because we're not privy to it. And even if we were privy to it, I'm sure I'd mess it up and trade it the wrong way. But that's another story. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, we don't. I don't like. Yeah, it is what it is. And the ones that we can control, we talk about. The ones that are out of our control because of. Hey, look, we do have bad days. You know, it's not like I'm gonna tell you that all every day is a winning day here, but we try to keep it under control, and we try to minimize our losses because that's very important. Making sure that we don't get crazy and lose too much on any one given day, and that way, like I keep saying, you don't want a situation where you have to take a week or so to get your money back from the one day's loss. You want to keep it kind of contained. So yeah, I wish I could tell you when the level's not going to work. That'd be really, 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 really smart. I mean, you should see the levels that Don gives me every day. I take it back every 10 minutes. I only share the good ones with you. Like I said, I don't know when the good ones are going to be there, but he gives me a lot. Do you use the bond chart for confirmation in the equities? Yesterday, I think it all depends on any given day. I think there are some days where we do have some good inverse relationship between bonds and equities. Maybe a little bit right now. You can see here bonds are rallied, equities are a little bit weak, and so maybe kind of allowing you or maybe letting you try to find an entry point to be short if that's what you are looking for trying to do. So yeah, I mean, we're not oblivious to what the bond market's doing and how it affects the equities. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to get the correlation between the two. Sometimes it's a lot easier to find it. And again, it's an inter-day kind of situation where it'll work good for about 3-4 hours, and then maybe next after that, there's the bond market, the volume and volatility gets sucked out of it, and it doesn't move as much. So yeah, it is there. We try to find the correlation between the S&Ps and the equities. As we drift down here, we're coming down to our 43 level. That's our next level of support that we have. All right, we went down to 44.5 there and drifting back up here a little bit. Again, maybe like I said earlier, because bonds are rallying, maybe we're trying to find uh, short. This is how you would have maybe found the correlation between bonds and S&Ps here in this little move. And again, there was a good reason there, or at least if you were watching bonds there, you could maybe found that opportunity. All right, well, we drifted quickly down to, like I said, 44.5 there, and popping right back up here. Missed our entry point by just that much. And 43 still be good, yeah. Maybe just a little bit of an adjustment to the downside. I guess you put limit buy and limit sell orders at the price levels. That's correct. We scale into a position, into a level. So some of our traders like to scale in a point above and below levels. So in this situation, some of our traders might scale in at 44, 43, and 42. Others might scale in half a point above and below the level. It all depends on how much risk you know you want to take and what your risk tolerances are. So yes, we are focus in on those areas because sometimes they drift down there really quickly or drift up fast and give us that opportunity. And sometimes if you don't have that order in there, especially these days with the markets moving like they do, it'd be hard to get those levels in there fast. So yes, that would be the case. And again, the most of the um, platforms out there allow you to have a stop that's already triggered once the order is entered into, so that's not like something that is too risky to do, as long as your stop is in place. Some like a finger stop, some like a mechanical stop, whatever the situation is. You should have the order in there either way, because sometimes it'll drift down fast and you're not going to have the ability to jump in and get involved against the level. Would you say shots are becoming more risky in this area? What kind of shots, though? Right, shorts. Oh, it's like, are you like, we're gonna go to the bar and do some shots? I was like, what shots are we doing here? I was like, God, yeah, we can't do shots in Chicago anymore because they're closing the bars early. I'm like, God, you're taking me out to try to get me, you know, yeah, whatever. Okay, yeah. So shorts are a little risky here. I would look at the 55 area above if you're looking for a short. Oh, that's not. Hope that cheered you up. Yeah, he said he wanted to be. He put shot in there instead of short, and so I'm like, what? What shot? What are we doing? We're going for shots. It's Friday. I mean, he has the right day. You know what I'm saying? He does have a right. No, you don't want me to sing. Let's sing. Come on, that's not happening. Maybe with a few shots, I might sing, but that's not. That's not happening right now. Well, I agree with you. It is Friday, so I mean, he does have a point there. Just when, I mean, it is what 9:30 here, and I don't know if I've done shots at 9:30 in the morning before. I have to be honest with you. I've gotten over shots from the night before at 9:30, and they don't feel too good. Yeah, there, Robert. I think you're gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. Bonds are on their highs. Again, if you're looking for a short around the 55, 54 area, I think would be a little bit more optimal. Hey, Robert, I just hope the place opens up again. you know, forget about, you know, story of life. I mean, I just hope it opens up again. All right. And I just kind of hanging here on these lows, bonds kind of holding their form on their upper end of their range as well. So again, trying to keep you, find you, get a reason to get short. I suggested the 54, 55 area. As you can tell, just got up to just 53 and change there and came off. So again, you have to let the market, the price action and the entry points be dictated by the price action instead of just jumping in. You have to give yourself a decent opportunity. On your entry points to be able to make some money. And if it doesn't get there, it doesn't get there, I mean, there's no reason to say, oh, damn, I knew it. Yeah, there's be a lot of other times that you say you get in and you don't say, "Damn, I knew it." Instead, you're saying, "Damn, I got to take my loss." So, those are the times you don't think about. You only think about the trades that you missed that you were thinking of getting into, and those trades are the ones that you would have made money on. But there's other trades that you don't get into, that because you didn't get into it at a bad spot, or because that you would have lost money on. You don't think of those, but you know what I'm saying. I think you know what I'm saying. That's right. Well, yeah, a little spike low there. I mean, unfortunately, we were looking for the 43 area. Got down to 40, 44 and change. Popping back up here, teensy weensy bit. All right. So okay. I mean, look, hey, whatever makes you happy. To me, I just you know, take them as it comes. I don't really think twice about it, which is more important, which is not more important. But hey, if you've done statistics and you feel like the first trade of the day is a little bit more successful in the first 20 minutes, then go for it. You know, I got no problem. I like to know. I want you guys to share statistics if you do have them like that with me, because I don't usually keep statistics on that kind of stuff, because it's not, because we do adjust and we do change trades and we do move our levels up or down, and so that's why I don't like to say, okay, this is definitively this is what everybody would have done the same thing, because I don't I don't I'm not out there to try to you know right tell you everything's etched in stone that we have to do it this way, because we do make adjustments along the way. So, well, what's wrong with you? Three people asked me about the election. All of a sudden, you guys bored? Must be bored. Who won the election last night, and who do you think is going to win the? Who won the debate last night? Who do you think is going to win the election? Really, you guys all of a sudden, three different people asked me the same question. I mean, really? As far as the debate, I thought that Trump did okay yesterday. He calmed himself down and he acted like a person who was in a debate for some odd reason. He still had his moments, but better than his other moments last time. Didn't really change, his policies, and I don't think anybody changed their policies about anything. I mean, I don't think that people are going to change their policies over this debate. So, um, so that's that. But I thought he did, as far as the debate was concerned, I thought he did okay, and that's only because he wasn't screaming over anybody, not because the content was the same. So you didn't get any different content from either one of them. At least you were able to hear their content this time, instead of somebody yelling and screaming over each other. As far as who wins who wins the election, I mean, I could tell you, who knows? It all depends on these electoral college of states and how close they are and which way they go. Because numbers wise, it doesn't look like he's going to win. But then again, numbers wise, it didn't look like he was going to win last time. So I don't know, was it cheating or was it not cheating, or all these things that come out or not? Who knows? But so you can't really depend on anything. And this year we have such a difference in the way the election is being done because of Corona. So a lot of going to be a lot of people who are voting now. A lot of people who are sending absentee ballots, and those ballots are going to be taking a little bit longer to count. So this is going to be a interesting next week. I don't know. The only way that I would say you would get any kind of answer next Tuesday, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, is if he can't win, even if they count the ballots, the mail-in ballots. Otherwise, if the mail-in ballots are going to be a decider in one way or the other, then you can't really declare anybody a winner or not. And that's what's happening this year. The election is going to be a week from Tuesday. So, like I said, the next 10 days or so going to be crazy news drop days, I think. Who knows? We definitely live in a different time, strange moment in time than we did in the past with news. and especially with this president. Usually what happens is the night of the election, if you've ever watched election night trading, gets a little bit crazy. It gets all over the place because every state that comes out, they have a different vote, and then they start. This is worse than any F day you can ever find. It is what it is. It gets a little bit nuts. We're slowly drifting back down here. Again, we talked about the correlation sometimes between bonds and S&Ps. That's not happening right now, but because we're making kind of new lows, it did go and retest a little spike there.
Hey, a couple quick programming notes. Want to welcome everybody coming in today, guests included. I'm going to send out a link to sign up for Sol's monthly. I think I sent it out to everybody directly before. Hey, Don, you're raising your hand just so you know. Hey, Bill C., did you get the opportunity to sign up for Sol's discounted monthly? Gary P., did you also receive that opportunity? I sent it out to you privately. Greg M. Hey, Greg, I think I've reached out to you a couple times. Just let me know back in chat if you did sign up. I think I saw your name on the list. Hey, Bill. Take advantage of the opportunity to save yourself $279 a month. Do it now. Let's take a little pause for everybody to catch up. So, Greg M., let me know. Hey, Gary. Hey, Don, no problem. Just take a moment to, you know, review the link that I sent you. Takes you a couple minutes to sign up. If you get the 100 a month, you get to keep it. So that's a good thing. Jacqueline, I sent it out to you also. Let me know if you got it. Phil C. Hey, Phil, let me know if you got it. Sammy M. Same. Saul B. The same. Hey, Andrea, you're coming in with the name just as user. You might want to change it so Saul knows when you're asking questions and that type of thing. So it's good. It looks like everybody has it. See if you can take a minute. I'll authorize you in the background so you can keep the discounted rate. We'll take a moment now as we pause here and catch up a little bit with some business. If you want to talk privately on the telephone about Sol's course and mentoring work, it all starts with joining the family. Joining the family means that you're signing up for his monthly. So it would be better if you got the discount. He has it on during this COVID thing. He also has some great discounts based on his course and his mentoring work, based on the COVID. Again, if you like what we're doing here, put it out on social media. If you go to our website, pitintelligence, all spelled out.com, PIT intelligence, you can send it out from there. Just click on the link on, Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media stuff you have. Spin it out to your world, as they say. Spin it out to your world. Or spin it up into your world. That might be better. So Jacqueline, let me know what you're thinking. Bill C, let me know what you're thinking. Gary P, Greg M, Phil C, Sammy M, Saul B. Now, if you get disconnected for non-responsiveness, make sure you call us on our telephone number. It's 312-685-2582. That's 312-685-2582. Hey, Sammy, no problem. Appreciate it. If anybody needs trading software, let us know. Hey, Sam P, you were asking about the trading software, right? Did you end up getting a trial from NinjaTrader or seeing what the fees are for your locale? Hey, great to see a couple people signed up. Thank you. Smart move taking care of it now so you get the discount. Those that are coming in from the outside, look for the link. Join us live in Zoom. So from a trading software perspective, it's just standardized trading software, so you can trade the S&P 500 E-mini. There are certain brokerage firms out there that obviously are better than others. There's one specific to trading the futures. Some have a pretty good reputation based on speed, their data, the connection speed, the servers in the background, and also the customer service angle, which I think is key when you get yourself into a pickle a little bit with your trade. You can have it for many different reasons, but you may like to have somebody to be able to respond to you. There's a number of peer-to-peer type brokerage firms out there that have started that are pretty inexpensive when it comes to the trade and the commissions and that type of thing. Inexpensive. But from a, how do you get a hold of them point of view, they don't have anybody. or very few people. So, it's great when you don't need them, but it can be pretty problematic when you need them. So you should have a trading platform, should have the ability to put up the same charts that Sol has, should be able to have a pretty decent order execution opportunity. You should be able to practice trade against real-time data, with P&L and that type of thing. And then you can really focus on the opportunity that presents itself here by getting Sol's levels, loading them into your software, paying attention to what he talks about in and around those levels. I do believe that standing on the shoulder of individuals that are doing this or have done this is a great opportunity for you as experienced traders that want to do better and new traders that want to learn. So it's funny, I'm testing my oxygen level on one of those oxygen meters, and my heart rate. So right now my heart rate it claims is 52, and my oxygen level is 97. I just went to 96. You said that's one of the telltales for the COVID is that your oxygen level drops and you don't even know it. But I think my heart rate's a little low. I mean, 52 seems a little bit low. I'm not sure if this is accurate. As long as it's not saying 25 if I turn it upside down. All right, got a couple people I can authorize in the background. If you're sitting on the fence, I guess the question is, do you want to pay an extra $279 a month? I know I don't. Whoa. So anyway, I'll be in the background if anybody needs us. If you want to talk privately, let me know. Just post your telephone number, send it to panelists, and we can take it from there. And again, those that are joining us from the outside, join us on the inside. Click on the link, look for the link, and join us on a daily basis in Zoom. Come in as a guest, and then we'll take it from there.